5.7 Systems of Equations Application Practice. Last time we talked about how to just write systems, how to get the two equations from the word problem. Today we're going to do that and more. Today we're going to do that and we're going to solve them. Keep in mind that this whole entire setup here would not be part of the question if this were tested, right? You would not be given this guided solving method, all right, y'all? So just get in the habit of kind of asking yourself, how do I set this up? Which method would be best to solve, and then get on with it, all right? Problem number 1. This is the same, actually, problem from yesterday's video. We have the perimeter problem again. So, perimeter of a rectangle is 78 centimeters. Your equation for this uses the perimeter formula, P equals 2W plus 2L, and we get 2W plus 2L, in this case, is equal to 78, right? 78 is our perimeter for this problem. The length L is, so we get to write L equals 7 more than the width. Now, you may not remember, it's been a while, this is called a switch phrase. And it means that instead of writing 7 plus W, we write W plus 7. All right, so W plus 7. In this case, it wouldn't have mattered, but if that had said less than, if this had been subtraction, definitely would have mattered. So just get in that good habit. So I've got my two equations. Now, my equations are not all lined up, so I'm not going to do elimination. And I don't have y equals or L equals L equals. They're not set up to graph either. So my method of solving this time is going to be substitution, which means I'm going to take one equation and substitute it into the other. So let's go ahead and let's get started here with the first equation. I'm going to write down 2W plus 2L equals 78. Now substitution means I'm taking one equation and plugging it into the other. And I have L equals. So I'm going to take 2W plus 2L, except I'm not writing L. So what am I writing that means the same as L, but looks different, right? Well, I'm taking the fact that I know that L is equal to W plus 7. So instead of writing L, I get to write W plus 7. And this allows me to just have W's, just one variable, which makes it solvable, which is great. So we still have 2W in the front, plus, we're going to solve now, 2W here plus 14 equals 78. Let's clean this up a little bit. We have 4W now plus 14 equals 78. And now we have to start doing stuff to both sides here. So I'm going to do minus 14 on each side, which gives me 4W equals 16. Divide by 4, and I've got W equals, sorry, I did math in my head there, not very well. 78 minus 14 is 64, and then divide by 4, and we get 16. I apologize. So we've got the width is 16. Well, now we need the length. What do we know about the length? Well, we know that the length is whatever the width is plus 7. Yes, absolutely, we're going to use that. Right? What did I just figure out the width is? Well, I just figured out it was 16. So my length, I'm simply adding those up. 16 plus 7 is 23, and I'm done. My width is 16 centimeters. My length is 23 centimeters. All right, let's try the next one. Mary M is twice as old as her nephew N. The sum of their ages is 108. What are their ages? All right, well, let's just write what we read. Mary M is, that's so nice because I get to write M equals twice as old as her nephew N. So twice as old as N, so 2N. My second equation comes from the next sentence. The sum of their ages is 108. So we don't know how old they are, but we know M plus N is going to be equal to 108. This is not graphing. This is not elimination. This is substitution. All right, so I'm going to write my longer equation here, my M plus N equals 108, but I'm not going to write M. I'm going to write something else that is the same as M, sorry. M is equal to 2N. So I'm going to use that instead with my plus N equals 108. Because now I can solve. I got 3N equals 108. Let's divide both sides by 3. And I've got N is equal to 36. Right, let's double check that math here. We got 108 divided by 3, and we've got N is equal to 36. Perfect. So if n is 36, I still have to find m. Luckily, I know that m is equal to twice n, which means that I'm just going to double the number 36, which I just found, to get the value of Mary, m, and we get m is equal to 72. And those are my answers, right? The nephew is 36, Mary is 72. We wrote two equations, we solved them. That's all we got to do in these ones. All right, we got two more to get through. Let's look at problem 3. The Spanish Club purchased 34 tacos for $40 to sell for a fundraiser. They purchased chicken tacos C for $1 each and beef tacos B for $1.50 each. How many beef and chicken tacos did they sell? All right, so again, let's take a quick look. We're going to write down, because this is a money problem, our two questions to really help us set these up. We're going to say how many, and we're also going to say how much. All right, it's so helpful. All right, let's do how much first. The money questions I like better. I think that they're easier because we just look for the dollars. All right, I got $40 total. And I have, let's see here, chicken tacos for $1. So I'm going to write 1C plus, let's see here, beef tacos for $1.50 each. So 1.50 beef. So I got all my money together, right guys? Money, money, money. We got all three of those things together, which means the only other number I have to use is this 34. And that's how many tacos I sold altogether, 34 tacos. And we don't know how many of each kind, we just know that all the chicken tacos plus all the beef tacos was 34 tacos total, right? How many and how much? Those are my two equations. Now this time, they're not set up for graphing, they're not set up for substitution. Because this time my C's are lined up, my B's are lined up, my equal signs are lined up, everything is lined up, even my constants, which means that this is set up best for elimination. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to write my two equations here on the bottom. I'm going to rewrite them. C plus B equals 34. And I'm going to write C, 1C plus 1.50B equals 40. Now, if I'm doing elimination, when I add these up, something will cancel. But right now, I'm getting 2C plus 250B. That's not what I want. So I have to fix these so something cancels. I think the easiest thing would be to make the C's cancel because I've got 1 and 1. I just need one of those to be negative. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take my first one and I'm just going to multiply this by a negative 1. And I'm going to get negative 1C minus 1B equals negative 34. My second equation didn't change. It is still just 1C plus 150B equals 40. But now, when I add them up, the magic happens, right? Negative 1 plus 1 is 0. Perfect. Something eliminated. Now the next part, negative 1 plus 150 is going to be 0.50b equals negative 34 plus 40, which is 6. So to solve, all we got to do now is divide by 0.50, and we get b equals 12. Let's just double check. 6 divided by 0.50 or 0.5, and we get 12. So I've got 12 beef tacos. Excuse the bell. Sorry about that. All right, solve to find the second variable. So if we know there are 12 beef tacos, we got to figure out the number of chicken tacos. Well, we know we sold 34 tacos total, right? Because that was one of our equations. All the chicken tacos plus the beef tacos were 34 tacos total. So I still don't know chicken, but I know beef tacos were 12, right? And I know altogether I sold 34. So I'm going to subtract 12 from both, and I've got C is equal to 22. So 22 chicken tacos and 12 beef tacos are what I sold for this fundraiser. All right, last one. Here we go. Julio rented 18 videos for $43. New releases cost $3 each and the general titles cost $2 each. Find the number of new releases X and the number of general titles Y Julio rented. This is set up just like the last one, right? We've got money, so I'm going to write my two equations. I'm going to write my how many, and I'm going to write how much just to organize my thoughts. And don't forget that how much we're talking about money. So let's start with looking for all the money. I think that's the easiest way. All right, I got $43 total, so equals 43. I've got $3 each for new releases, and they want us to say new releases are X. So I'm going to say 3X plus general titles cost $2 each, and general titles we're going to call Y. So plus 2Y equals 43. Okay, we got one equation. The only other number we're given is this 18. And that's just how many videos we rented altogether. We rented 18 videos. We don't know how many of each. So we're just going to say X plus Y is 18, right? All the new releases and all the general titles were 18 videos altogether. So we got money, 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 and we got videos, videos, videos. All right, keep those like terms kind of in the same equations. They're not like terms. Keep the similar items in the same equations. All right, now we got to solve this thing, and it's not graphing because I don't have Y equals or X equals for both. It's not substitution because they're set up the same way, right? X's, Y's, equal signs, constants. So the best way to solve this is going to be elimination. So I'm going to write the equations again down here. I'm going to say X plus Y equals 18 and 3X plus 2Y equals 43. Now if I add these together, nothing's canceling, right? I'm going to get 4X and 3Y. That's not what I want. Something needs to eliminate. That's why they call this the elimination method. And we have to decide what to make cancel. I could make the X's cancel, or I could make the Y's cancel. Either one should work. Let's go ahead and make the Y's cancel. So if I've got a 2Y on the bottom, then the top needs to be a negative 2Y. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to multiply my top equation by negative 2. I'm allowed to do that because I'm multiplying every part of the equation by negative 2, so I'm keeping it balanced. Now, again, you have to figure out what you want. You have to figure out how to get it. That's the hardest part about this. All right, now we've got negative 2X minus 2Y equals negative 36. And my second equation I did not have to change, so it's still 3X plus 2Y equals 43. All right, now we can go ahead and we can add these up. Let's see, negative 2X plus 3X is positive 1X. These eliminate and we get equals, what's negative 36 plus 43? Positive 9, let's see here. Positive 7. See, good thing I checked my math here. All right, so I've got 1x equals 7. I guess I'm done, right? X is equal to 7. Now let's go ahead and let's look at the next variable, right? Because I have to solve for both. My first equation that I used was a nice one. I had x plus y equals 18. And I now know that x is 7. So if 7 plus y equals 18, all I got to do is solve it. We're going to subtract 7 from both sides. And I get y is equal to 11. So I've got 7 for x, and I've got 11 for y. And those are my two answers. All right? So this is baby steps. Everything was laid out for you here on how to write them, what method to use, and how to solve them. We're going to work towards becoming independent and just seeing a word problem, knowing we need a system, setting it up, and solving it, right? That's the goal. Good luck.